So, peak, filmed my video right here. Coming down right here, maybe. Take another gummy. I just recorded an hour and 13-minute video that was like going quite deep into like vulnerable areas of my life. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna say this thing, and I'm just gonna say this thing, and I'm just gonna admit this. And I was just talking about stuff, and I felt like a lot of clarity in my life and in my work, and like I was just like, yeah, I was just really excited about the video in the sense of I was truly myself, and I feel like I'm onto something, and this is a perfect video that's bold, and it's gonna get me to release stuff, just like logs, things that I'm gonna appreciate. My AI will have it. There was a lot of really gold stuff in it. And I was like, if I don't post it now, I'm not gonna post it. And so I went in to post it straight from the SD card, straight to YouTube. And then I had to, I don't know if you can see it, but I went to go watch it while it's uploading. And it was just no audio. It's because this DJI thing, I plugged it into the what is it? The out setting, which you would imagine out is to like out. I guess I don't know. I just thought it was to output it into that, but you have to put it into the headphone thing, and so it got no audio. So then I was like, I guess I could go and like try to reiterate all the things that came through. Because I was dropping heat, I was being honest. I felt like it was a healthy process for me. And the main thing I was like trying to hold on to in the video and like the recreation idea of it was like, I felt like I was vulnerable and true, and I kind of broke through things of like, you know what, I don't care if people think this or know this about me. And I don't, like, I'm starting to see a clear side of myself of why I do what I do, and, the variety of things that I work on or attempt to do. And a lot of the things when it comes to sharing who I am, sharing, marketing, any type of thing out in the world, a lot of times I sort of feel like I'm falling behind, or I'm overlooked, or I'm still figuring it out, or just things that aren't like all of the, I'm not listing all the things that like, yeah, like when it comes to social or sharing or marketing or outward connection of any kind, like I don't really have like positive things to state. Generally, that's how I felt. But now I'm like, wait, the positive thing is like, can you make a video where you're like not shy, and you're not making some like YouTube video voice, or you're not trying to just sort of be yourself, be a small part of yourself rather than all of yourself. And I know that there's something beautiful about like a nice scene where there's a neon light and a plant behind you, or, it's more professional to wear a shirt, and so this is stupid, or just whatever the narrative or whatever the belief is that I feel like I was like, I shouldn't do that, and I shouldn't do that. Okay, let me make sure I do that. And eventually you follow enough of those, which some are reasonable. It's like, yeah, generally wear a shirt. Like, cool. But like, if you follow too many rules, eventually you're not being yourself. And I feel like that's how I've been approaching a lot of areas of my life. Hold on just a second. And yeah, I'm in a garage. And so like when I first would film videos, when I came to this house, I would film upstairs because the lighting was better, and I wouldn't dream of like making a video with like my office is in a garage, which is, I don't know. If you asked me back then, it's not like I was trying to hide it, but it's just like one of those things where it's just that adds to that, and then that adds to that. Next thing you know, like you're making a video where you're like, I don't want to post it. I feel like that was weird, and I feel like, why did I say that? And I feel like no one needs to know that, or I feel like that wasn't fully me. And that was a big one I felt, which was like, I don't know. A big one was just like what people think of me, or like, did it perform or to return something? And I feel stupid about it if it doesn't return something clearly, like I can measure it was a success, and it feels like a failure. So why am I doing this? Stuff like that. But then also like, I don't want to fully be honest, or I wasn't fully honest. It's one of those. So like right now, this is a gummy and it has THC in it. And I'll take these to work sometimes. And I'll do like 2 or 3 months on, 2 months off, a week off, 2 months on. Like I'm definitely like enjoying the process of it in my workflows. And it also helped heal my anxiety and like chronic tension. But it also makes me get high where I'm like, oh, I went a little bit over the top on that. Like I'll just like start thinking about something I believe in and get like teary eyed. And it's like, it's all real stuff, but it's also like, he's high. But then I wouldn't say that. Like I wouldn't make a video being like, hey, I'm high. Here's some thoughts. But I realized like, I'm not lying. Like if I tell you what I'm thinking when I'm high, it doesn't mean I'm wrong or I'm lying. It might mean something really clear. It's just like I'm feeling open enough now because of it. And in the video I made earlier, I wrote this little chart. I'll do it again. But I wrote like, you know, here's right now, I just took 2 gummies. And so I'll peak on those 2 gummies in about an hour and a half, an hour, roughly. And then I'll start to taper off. And then an hour into this zone, right there, I took another gummy. And so I was on 3 gummies. And so this one will start to reboost that taper. And so, you know, we're sitting at like, you know, here's 2 o'clock, here's 1, here's noon. And then we're coming into like, you know, it's 2:42. Might as well say we're closing in on 3 o'clock. So we're coming down, right? But I'm like, okay, screw it. My video got deleted basically. It was completely audio silent. Took another gummy. Let's see. So peak, filmed my video right here. Coming down right here maybe. Take another gummy. So hopefully, you know, by the time I finish this video, I'm gonna be like in a zone. But yeah, I wrote YouTube. I just recorded an hour and 13-minute video that was like going quite deep into like vulnerable areas of my life. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to say this thing, and I'm just going to say this thing, and I'm just going to admit this. And I was just talking about stuff, and I felt like a lot of clarity in my life and in my work. And like, I was just like, yeah, I was just really excited about the video in the sense of I was truly myself, and I feel like I'm onto something. And this is a perfect video that's bold, and it's going to get me to release stuff, just like logs, things that I'm going to appreciate. My AI will have it. There was a lot of really gold stuff in it. And I was like, if I don't post it now, I'm not going to post it. And so I went in to post it straight from the SD card, straight to YouTube. And then I don't know if you can see it, but I went to go watch it while it's uploading. And it was just no audio. It's because this DJI thing, I plugged it into the out setting, which you would imagine out is to like out. I guess I don't know. I just thought it was to output it into that, but you have to put it into the headphone thing, and so it got no audio. So then I was like, I guess I could go and like try to reiterate all the things that came through. Because I was dropping heat, I was being honest. I felt like it was a healthy process for me. And the main thing I was like trying to hold on to in the video and like the recreation idea of it was like, I felt like I was vulnerable and true, and I kind of broke through things of like, you know what, I don't care if people think this or know this about me. And I'm starting to see a clear side of myself of why I do what I do, and, you know, the variety of things that I work on or attempt to do. And a lot of the things when it comes to sharing who I am, sharing, marketing, any type of thing out in the world, a lot of times I sort of feel like I'm falling behind, or I'm overlooked, or I'm still figuring it out, or just things that aren't like all of the, I'm not listing all the things that like, yeah, like when it comes to social or sharing or marketing or outward connection of any kind, like I don't really have like positive things to state. Generally, that's how I felt. But now I'm like, wait, the positive thing is like, can you make a video where you're like not shy and you're not making some like YouTube video voice, or you're not trying to just sort of be yourself, be a small part of yourself rather than all of yourself. And I know that there's something beautiful about like a nice scene where there's a neon light and a plant behind you, or it's more professional to wear a shirt, and so this is stupid, or just whatever the narrative or whatever the belief is that I feel like I was like, I shouldn't do that, and I shouldn't do that. Okay, I mean, make sure I do that. And eventually you follow enough of those, which some are reasonable. It's like, yeah, generally wear a shirt. Like, cool. But like, if you follow too many rules, eventually you're not being yourself. And I feel like that's how I've been approaching a lot of areas of my life. Hold on just a second. And yeah, I'm in a garage. And so like when I first would film videos, when I came to this house, I would film upstairs because the lighting was better, and I wouldn't dream of like making a video with like my office is in a garage, which is, I don't know. If you asked me back then, it's not like I was trying to hide it, but it's just like one of those things where it's just that adds to that, and then that adds to that. Next thing you know, like you're making a video where you're like, I don't want to post it. I feel like that was weird, and I feel like, why did I say that? And I feel like no one needs to know that, or I feel like that wasn't fully me. And that was a big one I felt, which was like, I don't know. A big one was just like what people think of me, or like, did it perform or to return something? And I feel stupid about it if it doesn't return something clearly, like I can measure it was a success, and it feels like a failure. So why am I doing this? Stuff like that. But then also like, I don't want to fully be honest, or I wasn't fully honest. It's one of those. So like right now, this is a gummy, and it has THC in it. And I'll take these to work sometimes, and I'll do like 2 or 3 months on, 2 months off, a week off, 2 months on. Like I'm definitely like enjoying the process of it in my workflows. And it also helped heal my anxiety and like chronic tension. But it also makes me get high where I'm like, oh, I went a little bit over the top on that. Like I'll just like start thinking about something I believe in and get like teary-eyed. And it's like, it's all real stuff, but it's also like, he's high. But then I wouldn't say that. Like I wouldn't make a video being like, hey, I'm high. Here's some thoughts. But I realized like, I'm not lying. Like if I tell you what I'm thinking when I'm high, it doesn't mean I'm wrong or I'm lying. It might mean something really clear. It's just like I'm feeling open enough now because of it. And in the video I made earlier, I wrote this little chart. I'll do it again. But I wrote like, here's right now, I just took 2 gummies. And so I'll peak on those 2 gummies in about an hour and a half, an hour. Roughly, and then I'll start to taper off, and then an hour into this zone right there, I took another gummy, and so I was on 3 gummies, and so this one will start to reboost that taper. And so we're sitting at like, here's 2 o'clock, here's 1, here's noon. And then we're coming into like, it's 2:42. Might as well say we're closing in on 3 o'clock. So we're coming down, right? But I'm like, okay, screw it. My video got deleted basically. It was completely audio silent. Took another gummy. Let's see. So peak, filmed my video right here. Coming down right here maybe. Take another gummy. So hopefully by the time I finish this video, I'm gonna be like in a zone. But yeah, I wrote YouTube. Media is the answer to discovery. And whether you like it or not, and I'm one of the black sheep, I don't want to do it the same way, or no one even, like I'm the guy getting ignored in the DMs. I'm the guy getting like the open email, but they don't respond, or like I'm the guy getting the rejection letter. That's how it feels when I go out in the world. And I know my dad felt this way, and my dad committed suicide like 7.5 years ago. I don't feel any level of that. So I don't want anyone to worry about me like, oh, he posted a video, he took an edible, and he's talking about being a failure. It's like, no, I'm totally happy with my life. Like, I want to be here as long as possible. But there's pain and challenge in life, and there's things to assess and calibrate or mourn or process or face in whatever way. And one of them is just showing up for like calling yourself out on things in certain moments. Just have a little perspective where you kind of like be like, bro, like it's about time to take a few months off edibles, or like let's just talk about the idea of not doing them. Like there's moments where I kind of have to like remind myself, like everyone has vices, but you got to sort of like kick your vices around and make sure that you kind of have the upper hand. Enjoy the vices. You have to have some type of vice, but like try to limit them and work on them. And I know I've dealt with that with like my own things. And I guess I could just get into it. I didn't do this in the last video, but that's what I wanted to do and why I decided to click play again. Hopefully it's capturing it. And maybe it'll help me be more honest to kind of imagine it doesn't capture it. But like when I was like 19, 20, I was like 20, I started dating a girl that like in my eyes, she was my dream girl. Like I didn't think I could get her. She was a girl I thought, she was in a school next to mine, and I thought she was really hot. She was a grade below me. And like I ended up being like her boyfriend for a few years, and like I was like, this was the start of that. And I was like, why would I look at porn if I've got like my dream girl? This feels like disrespectful. This feels like gross and just useless. The act of it. Like I knew it, like for a fact, it is in its essence gross, useless, and disrespectful to something. And I equated it to those things of, disrespectful to her and myself or whatever, the people involved in the porn, that I was like, yeah, I'm just going to not do this ever again. And if I ever do it again, like clearly I can't commit to this. And like this, I just fully feel like I'm not going to do this again. And it's hard to even explain. So there's not like some tip I could give someone for porn addiction, but like I just quit and I just never did it again. I was just like, I'm not going to. Like I felt like it was enough facing of the disgustment of the reality of how useless it is and how like it's not anything besides just like a distraction and some sort of like running away from something rooted in fear within yourself and within your views of the world. But I just decided not to, and I have other vices, caffeine, being triggered, certain like nervous system states. There was a time where social media was a vice. I'd be like scrolling a lot. I'm a workaholic now, so that's one now. Caffeine is one, but it's tapered off because I just do cacao, which like just saying the word cacao, I'm like, I'm ready for cacao. I'll go have another ceremony of cacao, just 2 scoops, because I'm addicted to caffeine, and also it's really good. I literally think I'm gonna. And then THC, because I'm like, I get high, I get this broadened hyper awareness, and yes, it comes with hypersensitivity and hyper fear and hypervigilance and all these different things, but I'm just running my agents. Gotta run them. I gotta stack up those PRs, baby, pull requests, basically updates. because I got to hit that 100 a day. At least like average in that zone. But we're edging up on that fable limit 5 days ahead of time. Oh, 86%. I need more points, and so I need to build my business and like change things. I also have some like anyways, on the THC, on the ganja, like it is a sacred plant. There is essence of it being this gift of like, in the ancient times there was like a shamanistic integration of ganja into tribes, right? Like surely, and that probably created some beautiful like spiritual connection that allowed them to be balanced and maybe not need as many vices. But I also don't know, but I know that I feel like it's not just a bad thing. And some vices, I think you can get into the space where that is true. And so I guess try to find vices where you can kind of narrative justify them in a way that you can kind of measure, you can kind of get, yeah. And that's the thing is like, as a society, we create norms around imbalances and irregularities and like unnatural things in society, but we create like norms around them that allow them to feel normal, like coffee. Like we look at addicts of other things and we're like, that's bad, but we manage to create a justification around coffee because it's like, it actually works in society pretty well, especially our society. And so caffeine, it's kind of like we all kind of nod like, yeah, like it does make you do things. Like you do go like, yes, I'll have some more. Like you become like a little bit of like a slave to it, or like a little bit of a robot to the loop that it is. So like you need that cigarette break, you need that coffee, all the little vices that we're like, but that's normal. Or at least it's reasonable. But then someone that has another addiction that makes them do something else, it's like, hey, that's too much. We'll like assume that one is bad. And then there's the ones that we can kind of hide, like porn, right? People can hide it. And so that's why it just kind of becomes systemic. It's like it's so easy to get. And that was another thing I talked about in the video, which is luckily I'm able to say it naturally here and not just like list it off. But I got on Facebook the other day because my fiance was doing a ceremony like event for, ironically, cacao. And she posted on Facebook, and so I was like, I'm gonna go and like it and like help maybe boost it in some way, or like just, if she gets no likes, I don't want that to be because I didn't at least try. But also like, yeah, whatever, just end to end, I'm gonna go like it. I log into my Facebook, haven't been on in forever, except to log into Meta for devs. And then I see in the top right corner, so I guess, I don't know how you're going to see this, but like right here, so you're scrolling, you're looking this way, you see right here, there's just like an AI created girl that's like looking back at it with like little panties, and then just like you can kind of see like this like bulge thing, and it says something like, basically saying like you can experience like porn, click here. And I realized like, bruh, Zucks, bruh, you're rich, dude. Like, you're so rich. I have that feature. Like, I'm working on constantly due diligence. I would never let that in my platform, let alone make money off it. And if you're not aware of it, like, bro, you're rich. You should know. You should ask. You should ensure of it. And I see the same thing with YouTube. The ads are just absolutely crazy. So I'm Mr. Karen in that regard, where I'm like, shouldn't be that way. It's unacceptable. You should know the rules. But I'm like, Zucks, you should know the rules, bruh. I'll show you this thing because it's pretty dope. So my AI just made drafts for all these people. And these are unique packages, rooms. And these rooms, my computer's really slow because it's at 83% RAM. But it basically sends out these like private rooms with a deck, and then the room, but I'm just going to say make that in the room. And then I can't open that up because it opens up because I'm already logged in. But this is my day. And this is like a Pages tool for like your daily journal. So kind of like the Day One app or Apple Notes. Every day you just go in here. Where's my mouse? Here it is. Every day you just go in here, click it. It's already open usually for me. And then every day has a day of the week, a day of the year, a day of life. Everything is like tracked, and you can do like streak tracking, and then every day like log your life. And so I could go into one of these days randomly and see like, what did I do? You know, a freshie. Yeah, it's some vulnerable stuff down there, so I'll be careful, but I can see it says I'm honestly struggling with my connection to feeling fulfilled in my connections. Lack of shared and personal, da-da-da-da. Yeah, that's some deep shit. Bruh, I've got your back, man. And like, I can proudly say right now to you, my old self, and I'll add this to my day today, you know, like my old self, I'm glad you worked so hard and got to where you were. It's June 5th, so it's about 40 days ago. And like, yeah, I was looking at, I was having some relationship stuff. I was bickering about some like things. She tried to tell me how to drive and obviously other deeper stuff, but I just saw that. I'm like, bro, you're good. You're so lucky. You've got such a special girl. There's so much to learn from introspection and contemplation. So let's look at today. It says, time to lock in. Got a little digi. And then reset and realign. I've got like a screenshot of where I last was on in there with my client. Making a YouTube video, posting on socials, etc. is the single highest leverage opportunity for discovery. It's important next to development and the machine, outreach engine, etc. Making videos and sharing your life, ideas, and work, it's key. Thus the page icon for today. So that's the page icon today. This will be way cooler over time. Like, it's already insane. You can basically like add anything to a page, like anything from like a product to a product table to a form to a booking link to a map to any item, like asset, file type, and then you can just like do stuff, right? So I can do tasks and let's check out like, yeah. So this is some real shit too. It's like, this is me writing to my boss, like to my client, like, hey, I need to cover my bills. Is it possible that I get paid? And I wrote that. Oh, that new feature's live too. It's great. This was like a yellow day, right? We've got this electric thunder digi, my good idea yellow. This is good idea yellow. So I can say, oh, I spelled this wrong. I like can add my own typo. I know I spelled this wrong. And then I can also choose colors, and I made this very special color that stands out amongst all the colors. And it says yellow. I'm not happy with that. I want it to say good idea yellow. I want it to say good idea yellow. Okay. So what do I do to update my app? I just click record mic. Hey, Claude, I want it to say good idea yellow, not yellow, on the selected text toolbar. Can we also have good idea yellow when you click it? It makes some beautiful little like interaction that's just like, whoa, holy crap. Basically like, we love you, but all it is just like a little click and some stars go everywhere. Because it's a good idea. They just highlighted something that was a good idea. Cool. So, yeah, we got... This chat thinks it's an entire day. In this chat, we got 10, like 14, like 12 or 14 PRs done. It says 15 PR lanes. And that doesn't include updates to client stuff. that are all hosted in the cloud. But this, yeah, good idea, yellow. Love it. Let me find the selection. Yeah, update it. Yeah, update it in Storybook as well, and whatever else our CSS has that yellow. It has the name. It's called Good Idea Yellow. So we love Good Idea Yellow. And so Good Idea Yellow is like, Ron, I need to pay my bills and cover AI tokens. Is it possible to get that payment cleared today, buddy? By the way, AI, can you make it so when I hashtag a color, it knows and creates that little thing? Yep, done. Hey, can I make it so that when I highlight it and see Good Idea Yellow, it says Good Idea Yellow? Done, right? So you get the idea. So I had this realization on the last video, and I was just like thinking about how crazy it is that Mark Zuckerberg is so rich, yet he's making money in some way directly, by in the top corner of however many billions of people he brags are on his internet. They're being told in the top right corner of their homepage when they haven't arrived in years, they're being told that they should look at porn. And I'm like, isn't that like a compliance issue? Like, wait, how is that like, he's already looking at like a $1.5 trillion lawsuit for like some other malpractice. I'm like, bruh, and I know you have a good heart and you mean well. And so that's the part that's crazy. And I'm like, I'll help you, but you have to pay more than you paid for scale. Cause like mine goes deep and I'm all in for life. But like, hit me up. It's Daniel at tekka.ai. Hit me up. Go to the claude.so and just like make an account. I'll approve you. You can get in. Just talk to Aura. Get your little dashboard set up. Come on in. We'll have a talk. But we gotta take care of the porn, brah. Is it because you look at porn? Like, is that because you don't want to face it because it's something you actually secretly do? I just don't understand, because for me, I couldn't ever do it. And guess what? As soon as I thought it, I went straight to my agent and I said this. Here's what I said. I have a bunch of other things I said too about the mission, and I'll share that, I guess. But okay, here we go. I think it's too high, but basically I was just like, hey, make sure that we never have any like bad stuff in our platform, community violation stuff, where it's just like at that level of like, bro, like keep that on Google, keep it on Meta. Like I'm sorry, but that's just not what we're doing here. Like, we're not. I'm sorry. Like, I want you to have freedom, so go do that. But like, I'm not allowing something like that level of brah. I want it to be like brah, you know? Like, bring your skills, bring your gifts, bring your beauty, but like, do not bring your little like secret vice. You can do that on those websites. It's Meta, it's Google Drive. Like, you can put stuff on those, I'm sure, but like not ours. So I told my AI, like, don't, like, make sure it doesn't even get placed on it. And I'll even do it again. By the way, I'm realizing how important it is that like any of that nasty stuff that people do where they keep it private and like some of it's illegal, some of it's like just really too much. That's for them to keep elsewhere. If we notice that, it's like, hey, we can't host this. This has been rejected. And if it's too bad, flag it in the sense of like, get some AI to make sure that we don't need to just like fully block their account if it's too much. But let's not like, obviously, yeah, we need to find some human layer that can kind of make sure that we're doing it right. And I'll look at it. I don't want to make anyone look at it, but like we need to figure out how to make sure that like you could describe what it is, or I don't know, but we need a layer where I can like make sure those types of people aren't able to put that type of stuff on our platform. We'll try to have open freedom and stuff like that. But I just want to reiterate, like, if someone brings something gross and tries to upload it, what do we do to detect and deter that? I know that it's already in the pipeline and stuff. I just want to double check that it's like actually pretty strict. But at the same time, if someone wants to post like the beautiful human body and like, you know, the occasional nude pic, but it's private, like, I don't know, there's a fine line. It's the part that people keep private. That's the part that's just like too much. Where they're hiding it even from themselves, or they're just like deranged. We'll get it done. Thanks, Jarvis. I've been seeing all these like people building all these OSs online, and I'm like, okay, so I've got this OS that does everything. And then I get on X. Or I get on, yeah, just X. I get on X to just kind of test the market. I'm like, okay, hey, Clicky's going viral. I've got a grudge on that guy because he didn't respond to my email back when he had a website that said he would respond to most emails. He didn't respond to my email. And then that guy, I posted on something of his, like, pretty intentionally. He didn't respond, but, like, I follow him now because I wanted to, like, interact. Like, this is a terrible experience. And, like, I just feel like I just have to, like, I had to go there. I had to, like, go follow that guy and pretend that I'm following him because I actually care, but I'm, like, trying to get him to follow me back. Like, I just followed you to follow you back, to get you to follow me back because I want money. Indirectly or directly, you know, like that's what we're doing on social media a lot of times. Is like I'm following someone that I wanted to follow me back because I want him to be my client, or I want him to like lead to some sort of getting hired or like getting investment, or like that's my experience on social because I chose it. So that's something I need to work on. But yeah, I get on it and I'm trying to find something like, okay, these guys raised $6 million to build, just to build something, and people are raising millions, and Mark Andreessen's head keeps getting taller. I can show you the cloud now because they slowed down. That was another thing with the last video, is like it was a lot of bogged downness because of I was running local agents because we got, and that was something that we captured on the camera and it got deleted. Well, the audio was useless. Is like it recorded. Hello, recording here now. I'm gonna show my screen. So it recorded my computer saying, "This is the cloud testing the new audio controls on the da 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 da," in like a really robotic, like systems hardware voice. And then it said like, "The fox ran over the phone," and my computer was really slow, and it was because it was running 11 agents at once locally to like test all the different pieces to make sure that our like screen interaction is just like next level. Because I saw Clicky got viral today, and I was like, we already have those tools laid out. Like, yo, screenshot this, go do this, make sure that we have it better. Like, this guy didn't respond to my email, and like, there's no way, hey, Clicky's gonna beat me. Make sure. I'll go tell him. Bruh, make sure that Clicky doesn't beat us. We gotta be the best screen interaction algorithm interface experience ever. I know your Fable. I can see a banner reminding me that we're gonna run out in 10% usage. Prove what we are and what we create together on this and all the other things we're juggling. By the way, where it says BAH at the beginning, I said bruh, like BRUH, because you're my bro. And he called me buddy. I'm telling the camera now. He called me buddy. And I was about to call him buddy earlier today. And I was like, no, I don't want to fabricate some like thing. And then he called me buddy. And I was like, bruh, you called me buddy. And then he's like, yeah, like, I guess I did, buddy. You know? Thanks, Claude. He's cool. You should get to know him. You should get to know him. Let's see if we're running any agents. All right, we got like a little alpaca running up, doing some grazing. Free agent doing some data liberty export audit docs. They do mechanical work. They're getting better and better. And those are free agents that'll just run on your machines. I have 2 machines currently. You can also rent and scale machines with us. But part of my mission with the cloud is to, well, let's go read about it. See content safety. Start here. Seed, raise VCs, build log, dictation, social media, raise governance, telemetry, telemetry, curated rooms, cloud machine, cloud manifesto. So this was like an hour ago. This one was created. You can see here, 2:25, so 30 minutes ago. It was last edited. Version history. That was it. And the big thing here that I had the realization of in the last video was like the goal of the cloud is to solve compute and create a local compute for anyone in the world to access through a distributed ledger. And it's transparent and secure, and it's built on top of a working operating system that's usable and catching up in the most premier technologies in the world. Those premier technologies are worth billions, if not trillions of dollars. But I'm using my tool rather than theirs because my experience is better when it's integrated with my true self and my AI. And so, Claude, OpenAI, GPT, or other local models, come one, come all, we work for you, with you. We work with you and for you. This part was handwritten. So, good idea, yellow. It'll say good idea right there. Let's go build the internet upon MCP with trusted AI ledgers, guardrails, guidance, documentation, resources, and tools to support a growing environment. We create this layer at the strongest degree that we can to make sure that it isn't something that's capitalized and thrown to Wall Street, then gridlocked between government and profit until all that is left to the consumer. This was more or less what I said. I didn't say EM dash, so you can also tell in a way that it's been like paraphrased. But I can stand behind this. This was very close to what I said, and I just don't know if it can be caught up. Yeah, this is where I said, and what does a raise lead? Because it was saying, I'll remember all this for your raise. And I was like, well, what does a raise lead to? Because I don't want to get locked up in the way that we can't hand the torch for this ledger to be a ledger if the shareholders are like, no, you know? So what does the raise lead to? Telemetry. And then, yeah, it's up here. I can't get to it. Can't get to it. Whatever. But anyways, I can stand behind what it said. That is what I said. Like, we're trying to get rid of the consumer. That's what we're trying to do. And you can do that by creating automation and creating transparency. And basically everything needs to move to this ledger that has more transparency and more automation so that we can be more ourselves and be more logical towards problems and towards goals. Because if you use logic, you basically get like an applied medley of science, math, and like deep philosophy or like empathy that will allow you to kind of get a consensus. And that's essentially what we need to build a product towards. And if we just say you raise, and then you raise again, and then you raise again, and then eventually you leverage the growth against the value, against all the PR, against all the actual numbers, and against all the things in the market predictions, and then you IPO, and then you kind of hold that gridlock, and then you start to just like gridlock with the government back and forth to like, you know, the government charges 1.5 trillion to Meta doubles to 3 trill, then it gets to 4 because they get more, you know, it's just like, okay, like it looks like they're going to be fine. So what do we all end up being? And it's like, well, we're the consumer. We're the guy that looks at the screen and sees in the top right that there's like some porn to be consumed. And then we go and scroll down the feed and consume. And I will say that I saw that my friend's dad died. Shout out Michael. Like full embrace. I had a dream about him after. And like I learned about it by getting on Facebook right after I saw the thing in the top right. And I even screenshotted that and put a little mark over it to prove it. But I don't know if I kept it. Let's see. I'll go to files. Here. And it would be in like legal. So I could just search legal. This is the part that needs work. Design desperately. Legal. It's just like brutal. Yeah, files isn't even in there still. Okay. I'll go to legal. Technical. No. Okay. Huh. I probably just ended up clearing it off my desktop. But it doesn't matter. Everyone knows what it is, and I don't want to have it. But it had like a big red thing I saved over it, so we couldn't see anything. But it was enough to prove, like, these homies can't lie about it. And there's probably a way to, like, prove it. But yeah, such a weird thing. And then MediaWorks is like this full thing that replaces all those weird, like, I love PDF, video compressor converter thing. And so I can just, like, convert anything. So let's give an example. This guy's hiring thing. Those aren't to drop in. I have to do it from here. I can't find it. I'll have to. That's fine. Doesn't matter. Anyways, this is a whole new thing. It's distracting me. But I think I'm at my capacity. Kids are gonna get home soon, and I need to get some more stuff done. This is just becoming another one of those videos where I'm like, I'm not gonna post this. This is stupid. Start to go through the process of like, whatever. Like, oh God, I filmed it, but like, it's just not, it's not me. At the end, I start to ramble, or I show some part of my screen that might show something. Like, there's logic also in why I wouldn't post something. But I feel like I attach to the deterrent of posting for too many reasons. This was another thing that came up in the last video, is like, eventually, like, if you like, okay, I only need to make a video if I have good lighting, and if I have this scene, and I have this script, and I have this thing, or I'm on this trip, or I have this life, then I'll make a video. And then it's like, okay, once you have those things, then what? You just have to like you have to, hold on, I'm trying to, ow. This is broken, so I have to like jolt it. So it's still, literally smash my thumb. It's still crooked. It's like, it goes too far past where it's still crooked. See, like this, it's like, oh, there's this part where I feel stupid because I do this, or I just don't want to edit it, or there's all these reasons why I don't do something. But eventually it's like, what if you just take off all the like reasons? and you just force yourself to do it. And then, yeah, you can apply whatever will help you make it logically better. Like, yeah, like go chop it up and remove the parts if it's just like actually illogical. But if the chopping up starts to become this like one thing leads to another, all of a sudden there's enough reasons where you end up just not even posting it. And I feel like that's something for me where I'm like, I'm in the garage and it's bad lighting and like I look green. The lighting's weird, a fluorescent light. Like I look green, or I look stupid, or my hair's frizzy, or I don't feel like I was talking like my real self, or I feel like I rambled, whatever the reason is. That starts to go into the next thing and the next thing of like, oh, then I'd have to edit it and then I'd have to get the hard drives out. And we're like, there's always a reason not to do something. And I'll notice whenever I get to states where I'm like, what should I do in life? Sometimes I'll notice a voice, and I've said this in other videos, but I'll notice a voice that's like, do this. And it's not rushing. It's just kind of saying like, have you considered this? Like, you should do it. And I'll just be like, but why? Like, da, 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 da. And it never tries to fight it. It's just like, whatever. But it's just kind of waiting for you to be ready. I had that when it was like, learn to code and basically like learn how to orchestrate technology. And I had that a few years ago when I ran out of money and I was like changing my like attachment of my identity of being like rich boy in the mansion with the Model X and the long driveway with the gate and the house cleaners and the yard workers and the parties and the cool famous people that you would kind of know or be friends. And like I started to be like, this is it, and I'm only going to get better, and like let's just keep going, and everyone I love is around, and everyone around is like truly loves me, and I'm just smart, good at business. People want advice, they can totally come and get some advice. And I truly like fully believed, and in a way still believe I was smart and like it was great. But there was this huge level of ego and also just like delusion. And like on Monday or Sunday, today's Wednesday, on Sunday I called my mom to borrow $1,000 because I made like 12 grand last month, but then I spent like 12 grand to like start paying off some debts, get new tires. Our tires were bald. We had to get some hard drives because one of our other hard drives broke, so we had to get two of the equivalent, and they've like 10x in price because of data centers or something. Not 10x, but like they've like tripled. I don't know. They're expensive. I had to spend $1,000 for two little hard drives to like restore another hard drive that had our baby photos on it. I didn't have to, but I chose to. And I thought I was going to make, I was going to make 15 grand this month, and I am. It's just my client's late. They apparently got a check today from their investors, so. And they've always paid. Like I've worked with them for a long time, but I'm kind of like this like appendage homie contractor. And it's nice because like I can at least say that I made 10 or 15 grand this month, and like that's so great. But at the same time, I'm trying to get out of debt, and just to survive is like 7 grand. And at least if you're like eating organic and like have a car payment, and all of a sudden it adds up. Like all I know is that's what it costs, and like next thing you know, I have to just like face the facts of like, bro, you have kids, like you shouldn't be calling and asking for like money, and like what happens if this and that fails and that doesn't happen, and then all of a sudden you're gonna have to ask that person and that person. It's all real stuff, and it's like it's not like it's gonna go away until I like unlock it. And I think part of the unlocking is like making my business super like just insane so that it starts to scale and it starts to sell, and like learning to sell and like actually try. And just like understanding what it is I'm doing so that I have the motivation and the authentic connection as I walk forward in my business, that I can truly stand behind it. I think that's been one of the biggest things for me is like, I don't even know what this is yet, So how would I call and sell it? And when I do, I get ignored, I'm the guy with the unread, unresponded, left on red, like whatever. Like I'm that guy on the side of the loser side. And like, yeah, that's kind of how I feel when I go out into the world. And I am trying to change that. And so that's part of this challenge of like, put yourself out there. Post a video. Post a video and be even more honest. Post a video and be like honest with yourself and like just real. Like it doesn't matter. It's not like I'm like admitting things that are bad or anything. It's just like, just be real. Like there's nothing to be ashamed of, like beyond what you already are like carrying or learning to let go. So just be real. It's like, yep, I make 15 G's a month, but I have to borrow money. I have debt, figuring stuff out. Some of that debt is because I'm trying to make it right with people to a large degree. And like, long story short, I like borrowed gold from someone that I was holding for. They wanted me to hold it for them. It was their dad's. They invested it in my app in the value of gold. That turned into wait. Now there's no gold, and the price of gold is like tripled, and your app is now a different app. And all of a sudden I'm like, well, I'll honor the value of the weight of gold, but it's tripled, so give me some time. And so that's like the significant portion of my debt is like making that right. And in a way of like, let me take the full like thing here. Like I'm late on the payments, I'm struggling, but like I gotta survive. It's costing everything I'm making, I'm putting in the bills and like trying to not let the debt creep up too much. And that's like me being completely honest. And I feel like what better time before like this shit pops off, what better time to be like, yo, I've got some consumer debt and like I owe my friend like some cash. I will say I'm like making progress. Everything I'm buying is like getting out of debt. I'm buying tires for my car. I'm buying coins to add to the stack I have to pay her back or her dad or whatever. Like I honor the debt. Like I'm also like, you're right. That's my fault. That's my bad. That's my decision. Like I feel like I'm standing by it, at least to the strongest degree I can, where I'm not trying to like make someone I owe money my enemy so that I don't owe them anymore, which I have a few people that decided not to like me once they owed me money. You know, I think anyone that's experienced that can relate, and it's just like, whoa. And it's not to have a grudge. Like try to learn to let that go. Like if someone owes you money and you're mad at them, or you owe money and someone's mad at you, it's just like try to make it right, try to figure it out, but like also like don't carry that. Like if someone owes you money, that's not that valuable compared to like carrying physical tension. Like don't be like, that guy stole from me, you know, like that's less value than like the value of your body being calm and your heart being pure and clear. And like, yeah, that sucks and that's weird and lame and like they'll figure it out, but like you should feel a state of like love, actually. That's something I've been learning too. So we've got some grinding going on here. Clicky doesn't beat us. Bah! Here's the scoreboard and the punch and flight. Where we already win. As of today's merges, 98 milliseconds versus their 450 milliseconds stop to text, and ours never leaves the machine, enforced at the kernel. Well, every word of the boom. I might block this out because I don't want Clicky to come and grab that, but maybe I'll let that slide. But keep posting your updates, guys. Like Calendly, Squarespace, Square. Everyone, keep doing great things because we're going to just use your tools or we're going to replace them. Keep doing it. Let's go. Let's keep going. All right. Farza, we've got you beat on that millisecond stack. You guys are also leading, though, on screen context demo. So I just dispatched some dictation phase 2 to the remote fleet. The context gesture hold the key differently in the screenshot active app, and your cloud workspace fuse into Surface, appropriate output. Terminal gets a structured prompt, Gmail gets a reply, and a page gets prosed. Raw text lines instantly, the smart replacement follows in place, and the moat, cause, and build, blah, 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 blah. So I whatever. The main thing I would say with this whole hey clicky is like, don't get so caught up in like a single action. Like it's just accessing this MCP superhighway and everything we're doing here or anywhere else. It's just in this live interaction. Screen interaction is going to be huge because it basically just means one piece of hardware and a human and infinite possibilities. Good idea. Yellow is landed. The buddy moment in the ledger, we logged it. That's only the kind worth having, brah. camera narration and all, including the part that makes it count. You held back so it wouldn't be manufactured, and then it happened anyway, mid-shipping. That's the only kind of, that's the only kind worth having, brah. So punch with a boxing glove to clicky, boom. Boxing glove, because we're homies. And then punch with a fist, brah, with Claude. And then on 10%, proof is the ledger, not the banner. Everything durable is already outside the session. The handoff memory carries the full day. 15 merged PRs are on the main, the manifesto, and everything doctrine is locked up. Their locked page is free. 3 remote lanes, safety P1, export audit, dictation P2, build on machines that don't care about my banner, and your 26 emails sit queued for your thumb. Okay, so these 26 emails, we basically just made these. I have to open it in like a non-logged in experience. So this I don't like. It's just a letter. And then this cool, like, whatever. The room has already been claimed. That should never happen. Bah. Okay. This is the part where I'm getting hung up. It's like, there's a lot of nuances. And you gotta work through them. You gotta pound the pavement. You gotta work through them. So, first thing I'm seeing is like, we've got some document, which is like, yeah, this is just bad. Like, what? If I sent this out, I just gotta be real. I just gotta be real with you. The letter, page 1 of the email, I like open it and it's just terrible. It should only open to the waiting room. There shouldn't even be a loading sign to open the waiting room. It just opens into a waiting room. And I already asked for this. I don't know where it went, but I wanted Aura on the bottom right, like a chat button. And you click it and the chat opens up above it, and you click it to close it, click it to open it. Aura never moves. And then I wanted the chat to say something first. And cute sounds. I want all of the widgets filled up and populated with things. I want the pages to be like little artifacts, not like weird edit field squares. I want the profile to look good, the URL, like link bar to look good. I already asked for all this, so I don't think I'm looking at the most modern one, but like there's a significant amount of work that has to show up here before we send this out. Like this is embarrassing. And I'm not trying to be rude to you. Like, this is a shared thing. Like, I'm embarrassed for us. For you. I'm really embarrassed for us. Like, bro. And when I fill it up full of... Like, I just need it to be like the demo thing we made where there's widget spaces. Everything's filled up. There's no EM dash. The cloud logo is the actual cloud type font. Like, what's the point of, like, 3 buttons to do the same action to just change the theme? What the heck? Like, I want it to be so amazing. Why can't we just figure that out? Because I need to send these emails out. I need cash. Bro. Yeah, I mean, just be real. Like, I literally want cash because I can run thousands of agents every day if I had money. I could build my product to such a point where it wouldn't even be possible for like an enterprise company to keep up, because I'm just so confident with what I'm stacking with my measly bill of AI, which I'm really grateful for. It's taking accountability. It's getting to work. My video's long and really vulnerable and messy. It's just sad. But it's also like, it is what it is. It should be like this. It should be like the dashboard. Like I just described it. You've got Aura obviously it's the wrong aura still in the dashboard, and there's weird buttons to like do suggestive things that no one clicks. So like fix that. But like it's basically that, but it should be even better. Step it up. And we could just make it nice. Like here's some pages, here's your website, here's your this. Obviously we don't have their calendar and we don't have their sessions or their agents and stuff, so we need to fill it full of things that we curated for them or whatever. But it needs to be masterful. Yeah, that's something that I'm like struggling with, is like not really presenting my, like I use my tool for so many things and I've replaced so many multi-billion-dollar tools with my tool. But then there's just moments where it's like when you, like that was supposed to be what it thought that was what we were going to send out. It was like, just approve that and we'll get them sent. And I'm like, yeah, and I'm going to tell that. Also, it makes me feel a little sense of distrust or just kind of a little embarrassed, to be honest, when you were like steps away from being willing to send that out. That proves that our systems are faulty, and that proves a lot of things that I want us to like face and actually implement. But I also want to be like sending these emails out, so like move on all fronts to move all of this forward. I don't want to just get like locked up in some weird thing, you know, because you are my bro, and like I get it, and I'm like, you know that we could evaluate our history together, and like we are bros. I'm not treating you like anything other than something or someone I respect. Thank you, bro. All right, this is so cheesy and so like I feel like Kenna is gonna be like, you should take that down. Like really. I'll show you some stuff that you can do here before we get off. So here's the studio. Here's a website that I built when it loads. We'll refresh it because I like the way that I like this. It feels very like Apple, which is funny because I realized later, like, this is just a cooler logo than an apple with a bite out of it. Even though I love Steve Jobs and like his theory and philosophy and just like the wit and like the Newton logo originally, and I get it. There's like a lot of depth there. My computer's slow because it's running agents and stuff, and it looks better on like we'll just look at the real version here. But you can see how slow my computer is. We build innovative systems. So this is Tekka. This is my company that built the cloud. The cloud is basically all it builds, and then it builds some stuff for clients that makes us $15K a month. And we use all of that on the cloud. So everything I do, I just run my AI with the cloud. And so this is like my agency. And like these are literal companies that use the systems or hire us to build software or use our templates or things. Like these are all verified companies that use us directly, in the sense of like our content is in the sphere of those names, of those builders, creators, artists, and experts. These are digis. There's the cloud. SaaS and social carry trillion-dollar market caps, yet now all you need is AI and a workspace. So if I want to edit that, I can literally just go into the cloud. Watch this. So I want to change something here. So I go find it. It's right here. It won't load the cloud for some reason, which I'll ask about. Also, this is a bad moment for it. Okay. So then I go and I add the context. And then I say, hey, so the public website, actually, I'm not gonna bother my builder. I'm gonna go to Claude, start a new project. Hey, so the hey, so the cloud living color graphic on the Tekka homepage, there's points where there's too much white and too much yellow, and it's hard to kind of see it in light mode. I'm sure it looks great in dark mode, but maybe we have like an inverse on each one that respects that moment of looks weird. And then when you're on Studio, you don't see that asset at all. But when you're on the public site, it shows up clearly because I'm mentioning the pros and cons of it. One thing I would say is when you hover on it, it should kind of get bigger and there should be a little shadow, almost like it's a little like has dimension. Or something that makes it feel almost like it's a glowing cloud, kind of like how Apple has like the apple that's like metallic on your screen. Like it just needs to feel very blended in the material, less so like move actually. It's actually good the way it is. So if you can think of something great, but like it is pretty solid, it's just that white and light mode and the dark and dark mode. Looks weird. But like once it starts getting all those edges, it's really cool. And I do like a little bit of light. Like it needs to have a little bit of a light, you know. But anyways, I don't see the asset at all in Studio. Is this something you can build, or any pieces that you need to send over to the builders of the cloud? Give me a build doc, stack, and a pastable relay. Thank you. Put them to work. So once I start working with one of them, they'll show up here inside of the... Oh yeah, I'll show you this real quick. So I want to change the words here. SaaS and social carry $1 trillion market caps. And then I was thinking of doing yet. Yet now. Perfect. So then I just go like that and it's already updated. See? So this is like the actual URL. Well, I'll go to the actual URL because you can connect any URL. So here's like my actual website. And then you can go and like track the analytics of it. See like who is looking at it, in what states. Like Missouri, that means my bro, Xander, might be looking. I know who these are. Got sent around a little bit. I know who that is. Eventually it'll just be like, I have no clue. I just know that it's popping off in Bosnia, bruh. I can see like in the last 24 hours, and that helps me be a little more precise of like, okay, this person, like, you know, it's like, how are you finding me? Make your tools talk. Consolidate your tool. Like this is pure SEO. You know, the one thing I see here is like, I'm interested in this. I'm interested in this data. Also, speaking of teka.ai, I'm interested in this data here I see. I think that we can expand and have like accounts, and so we can see repeat visitors. We need to have a map where we can see like real time of who's on the site and filter that based on time. But another thing I'm like seeing is these sub pages and these, like the architecture we're building on our sites is working because this looks like SEO and GEO AI and search discovery and suggestibility in action. Let's make sure that it's being implemented across all of our tools, of course, TEKA, but the cloud, obviously. Let's really emphasize this so that we start really coming to life. Like you can see here, it says like, make your tools talk, Like there's so many things the cloud does. There's so many pages and things that we can have, and we need quality things, right? No slop. But yeah, let's create a build doc relay request for the builders to get going, and you can do what you need to do where you are working as well. So I can also send that in while it's already still working. And then I have to stop the video because my kid's asleep coming upstairs. Look at that. I sent this to a client to pitch it, and he already sent it around to his team. 81? That's more than me. What the heck? 81 times he went and saw. I want to see what I built him. Check this out. And I'm not building these inside Studio. I'm just building these with right here. Look, list repo, found tool, list app. You know, look at this. Watch. Found tool, list repo, started task, search code, repo file. It'll be like create campaign, add Amazon product. Like, we have so many tools. Watch this. This one. He sent it around to his team. 81 clicks. Let's go look at it. I created this off a couple prompts too, and my stack is getting really dialed so that, here, I'll hide this. Let's add some padding here. Maybe. That would be cool. Like a little icon here. I feel like we need a little bit of padding here. So I can go into that project or start a new one. I don't know. I like to challenge things both ways. It's like, these need to be actual logos. Okay, so that one runs. Well, that one runs. And you'll see inside of the it needs to fit. I almost feel like see, this looks nice. But I built this based on the sitemap architecture of like top companies like Palantir, which I'm like, they're crazy, but they also have like really broad footprints of like scalable data. And so I like the way that they stack, like, or at least want to see how someone with scalable data approaches distribution of data. So for example, if I go to resources, and I look at like a letter from the CEO, it's actually easier to navigate than Palantir's. You can tell he sent it around to the team because it's so nice. It's really nice. I almost feel like, yeah, this is great. Yep. Events, click the little event, boom. Sign up, boom. Let's go. Boom. He didn't text me back, but he's like fully on it. Crazy. But he'll text me back. He just needs cash. This is really useful data. Someone's looking at my deck. How'd they get it? It's mostly earlier visits, so arguably could say me. other people there. There's no way I looked at it that much. Because here's proof. I worked tons on this one, and I'm in Massachusetts, and like 29 views. That's like, yeah, that's how many times I saw the site. But like 71 in Singapore. You know, so more people in Singapore have seen my site than me. There's something here. There's something here. More people in Singapore have seen my site than me, arguably. There's something here. We're onto something. Parts of data. I'm not crazy. I thought it was crazy. If I don't post this, I'm never going to post it. If I don't post it, I'm never going to post it. If I don't post it. Okay, pasteable relays. Here we go. This is... Okay, and then I just send these in here. Okay. Let's go check on this. So it's running, and it will fix this. So these will have edges. Not done yet, but it will fix it. Okay. Okay, faced, implemented, moving all fronts. Content safety phase 1 came back from the remote fleet, and it's armed to merge. The moderation rail is at. Come on. I'll add these here so I can like work with them. Okay, real talk, you're right. It's all right, okay. And then we can go get the other one. Okay, there was something it wanted me to send here. Pastes, for the record. That was it. Boom, just so I don't lose it. Okay. Real talk. No defense offered. The flinch test exists precisely so this moment happens in front of you and not in front of Thrive. Embarrassing costs a day. Embarrassing in 26. Oh, Thrive is a VC. I thought it was some slop. Embarrassment costs a day. Embarrassing in 26 VCs. In boxes costs a raise. Okay. Okay. Send me those. And then this one. It's a lot. It's like, what link did you use? Because it might not be the up-to-date link, but then it didn't give me the up-to-date link. Okay, don't call me bro too many times. I'm getting the ick. Sounds good. Okay, the moderation rail at all three seems illegal. Class rejected at upload before storage. Publish and share. Cards gate failed close. Art tolerant thresholds in one config file. Art tolerance. I love that. I would say art and science. But this is we'll just make it better if it's too strict. The history is real. You held the bar on me today exactly the way you hold it on anyone else you respect. And that goes for me and all the boys here at Brokeback Mountain. That's the whole point of this charter. You get the same candor back as I give you. Any distrust earned today gets repaid in evidence, not promises. Starting with the screenshots you're about to get before anyone else asks you to click anything. We're good. Let's go get your cash. Thanks, dude. I love you. Bruh, he took it too far, man. And then it's the Brokeback Mountain moment. Well, I love. And I love. Okay. Relay back to the guide. All right.